So just talking back earlier, we were looking at, we made this base part which has all the common features from the top cap and the bottom cap. What we're actually going to do now is derive a new part from that base part that we made, and we're just going to make the small changes for both the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to start with the bottom one first, and then we'll do the top cap after. Okay. So the way we do this is we're going to create a new part, so it's still in the same project folder as before. Create a new part, and instead of going straight to sketch, what we're going to do is you'll see this little button here called derive. So we'll click on derive component, and you'll see your base part there in your folder. Okay, there it is, little picture. So we're going to bring this in, so we're going to open. Okay, and just click yes, okay for all of this. Alright, so there's our base part that we've brought in. Now the cool thing about this is when we make these derivations, if we ever go back and change the size of the original base part, all these derived parts will also change as well. From here, the only thing we need to do in the base part is we're going to start a sketch just on this face here. Now looking at the drawing, we're doing this little cutout here, this thing here, so we know it's 7 deep, 8 wide, and we're going 1 mil deep in here. This is just to indicate where the cables come out. To do that, very easy, I'm just going to go and draw a 2-point rectangle. Just anywhere on your screen will do, and we know it is 8 across, 7 deep. Done. Okay. And from there, you're going to use this constraint here. So this is coincident constraint. And what we're going to do is we're going to just move over the top line. We're going to click on that middle point just there, and we want that to line up with the middle point of this top edge here. Right, straight away you'll notice everything is fully constrained. So I'm just selecting that projection line. I'm just going to make that construction geometry, and then finish the sketch. Using the extrude tool, we're going to extrude cut, and the distance is 1 millimeter. And click OK. Right, all good. Now you'll find that this gets a little bit weird that it's done this sort of stuff. We can go through and fix all that up later, or in your base part just don't apply materials and all that sort of stuff until you've made this derivation. But we'll do that again a bit later on. So the only other thing that we need to do is actually pop a hole just in here, and looking at the hole, we've got a diameter 10 through. Okay, so I'm just using my hole tool again. This is going to be concentric. So the plane again is this face just here. Concentric reference can be either the inside or the outside, doesn't really matter. And this one we can just go distance through all, and the diameter is 10. Click OK, and that's that one done. And the other thing that we need to do is just pop these holes in here. Now these are counterbore holes. As we saw in the sketch, there is 4 of them. They are diameter 7, counterbored 2 deep with a 3.5 through hole. The way we do this, again, just using the hole tool. Now because we already have the sketch in there with the points, we can just use straight from sketch, and you'll see it puts them all in there. The very first thing we want to do is choose a counterbored hole. Okay. We're going to use through all. The outer diameter in here was 7, the depth was 2, and the through hole was 3.5. Once you're done, click OK. There you go, all your holes in. Very simple, pretty straightforward, nothing too painful. So there's all our bits and pieces. The only thing left to do is just fix up all the materials. What you can do, if you click the little fly out here for solid bodies, we can select that. Just right click on it if you like. You can go to properties, and under here we can just go and choose honed. Yeah. I'm sure there's other ways of doing this which might be a bit easier, but yeah, all good. So click OK, and that changes them all. Done. So let's go and save that. And we're going to call this bottom cap. Okay, so bottom cap. Click save, and when it comes up to this, it's saying, do you want to update it? Some parts require saving, so yes. Okay, click OK. Done. All right, so we can close that one, and we're going to create a new part and derive again, and we're going to derive from the base. click open. Click OK. So same process. In this one, all we're actually going to do, we don't need to do anything too much in here. We've got to put a boss on the top, and then we're going to put threaded holes in there, and then we'll do the cutout for the shaft to go through, and that's it. So let's start with the boss. So start sketch on this face, circle from there out, and that is 22 mil diameter. We can see here, just diameter is 22. So 22, done. From there, finish sketch, and we can extrude that one up, and that is going to go 2 millimeters, I believe. Yep, here we are, 2 millimeters. Okay. Now you'll notice that here we've got radius and all that. We forgot to put that on the bottom cap of the last one, so we can go back and just edit that part and yeah, just pop all those little bits in. If you want to put some fillets and bits and pieces in there as well, that's all fine. Chamfers, whatever. I'll let you guys have a free reign of how you want it to look. All good. So popping back over to the part, this is going to extrude 2 millimeters. Click OK. From there we can cut the holes through, so let's use the hole tool. We're going to go from sketch, we're going to click on this little button here, so this is going to be threaded holes. Now depending on your computer, this will take up to a minute to load up all the threads and bits and pieces. If you've already done a thread, in this instance of having Inventor open, then it will be fairly quick. So I've got that there. The thread type, we're using isometric profile, and again you've got to wait for it just to load up all the profiles. And once you've done that, the hole size that we're actually going to choose is 3 millimeters with a 0.5 mil pitch. So just wait, there we go. So straight away it's gone to 3 millimeters with a 0.5 pitch. That's all sweet, that's what I want. In terms of this, we want through all, so that's all good. So click OK, and we're done. So there's your holes all the way through with the threads in there. Okay. From here we can do another hole, same as on the base. We're going to use just a standard hole, so make sure it's normal hole. This is going to be concentric on that bottom face there, concentric reference, either the outside or the inside, doesn't really matter. Distance will be through all, and the diameter is going to be 10. Tick, all done. Okay. So that's pretty much all that bit there. Okay, so if you like, you can put little chamfers and stuff on here. I'm just going to put a chamfer just on here, and maybe a couple just in the little bits there, just to neaten it all up and take all sharp edges off and all that sort of stuff. So for that, I'm just going to use a chamfer, and I'm going to make the size 0.25. Okay, and just one on there, and just one on top of each of these holes. Okay. All good. Click OK. From there, yeah, just material again, just making sure that's set to whatever material you're using. Okay, mine was honed. Okay, all good. Alright, so that's pretty much our top cap. So let's go and save that one. So click save, and we'll call that top cap.